Well, this is great. Live on YouTube content. So let's talk about what outside of the 3 movies, if anything, that we've been watching. Chris, I know you binged Ozark.
I did. This hat looks goofy in wide angle.
So I watched the first season of Ozark, but I haven't seen it since.
Oh man, dude.
How did you not complete everything at that point?
I have a tendency to not finish.
It's 2 and 3 are both extremely bingeable.
Yeah. Yes.
And then
I tried watching
the end of 3.
I tried watching Code 8 yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know it.
So Stephen Amell of Green Arrow fame and his cousin Robbie crowdfunded a short film called Code 8. Basically, like 4% of the population has superpowers, and those superpowers are restricted by the government. And Robbie Amell is kind of the primary character, and he has these superpowers. But they crowdfunded it through Kickstarter. They wanted like $200,000. They made $3.4 million. So they made it. It was released on video on demand and in theaters for a limited run. And then Netflix bought it. Yeah.
Sweet. Great job.
It was
that is too much sunlight.
It started out interesting, and then like in the middle of it, I was talking to Alec about it. Well, I was reading Alec's review and made a couple comments, and he called it fat in the middle of it, which is absolutely right. Completely lost me. There we go.
We had Tyler for a second.
We did?
Yeah.
I think he probably couldn't get his video to work, so he logged out and logged back in.
Well,
what else have you been watching?
Oh, Devs.
I'm on like episode 5. It's pretty intense, man.
Right, dude? I told you.
So
I just finished.
Go ahead.
I just finished up Tales from the Loop on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you mentioned that last episode. I need to watch that.
I did?
Yeah.
I don't think that was me because I just started watching it 2 days ago.
Okay.
Watched all 8 episodes.
So Devs. So the guy in the first episode, Sergey, right? He was in, do you remember a couple episodes back before the quarantine where I was talking about that movie Love that won like all these awards, and it was essentially just high quality porn?
Okay.
And, no, I mean, it was really well shot. And hi, Tyler. You just need to start your video, buddy. And but that's him. That's the guy from that movie. So I'm like, oh, I've kind of seen that guy completely naked. And weird.
And now he's in a movie. No.
Oh my God.
Tyler's having some technical difficulties.
Damn it. How's that?
We got audio. Now we just need video. Are you on your phone again, Ty?
Yeah, my internet sucks in the stick, so you ain't getting any video. I'm sorry. We've been having problems with it all week, so I had to dial in.
Oh, are you on the phone?
Yeah.
Nice. Good times.
Better than nothing.
Are you able to at least see us on YouTube or anything, or you don't want to take up the internet?
No idea. Why, is Jared back?
No.
No.
But it's quarantine and we need to see each other.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right.
And be comforted by my voice.
I don't want to feel you.
Should we reschedule for Ty though? Because he's the most passionate.
This is fine. No, this is fine. I don't know when it's going to get any better, so it's fine.
To be fair, it is a podcast, and it is typically an audio medium, so we just happen to be doing this.
Edit it with a funny picture of me.
Well, we're live on YouTube, so it'd be a little difficult to re-edit it.
Oh my God! Look at all the viewers.
I think there's two of us, and it's Chris and I.
Yeah.
Does it show you who the viewers are?
I wonder, can I put a picture up for him?
I was wondering that.
No, I can't. That would have been fun.
We can hide him though.
I ruined everything.
You're fine, Tyler. Okay, can we hide him?
What I missed, boys?
No, we were just chit chatting about.
I just realized,
a lot of stuff.
Tony, you're looking clean shaven. What the hell?
No, this is 2 weeks, dude.
You should see his balls.
This
Yeah,
is 1 day. I shaved yesterday.
That's Derek's. That's like 2 hours.
I took 2 inches off.
And you should
And
see
also
my
his
balls.
beard. Yeah.
Hilarious.
All right. Well, Tyler
You can't
is
see
not.
me.
Tyler
It's
is not live and
breathtaking.
in person. But this is
No.
his show. This is his show. So, Mr. Ty.
Yep, that's right. Tony
Welcome
gave
to
me
Rock.
the contract. It's all mine, baby.
Well, welcome to Rockhorn Tribunal. Can we get a guitar
We're
riff?
funny.
No, Bill and Ted moment there.
No, not the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
All right, Tyler, it's all
Oh,
you, buddy.
that is-
Take it away.
All right. So, in a coincidence, Trolls World Tour is the first new theatrical film that's been released straight to home video streaming. And I guess it's about rock and roll. I haven't seen it. So we're going to do some rock and roll movies that I think are underrated and obscure and that I love. And after our Evil Dead episode, you'll probably all hate them, but it was worth a shot. So, guys, which one do you want to start with? I have no preference.
It's your call, buddy.
Let's do Phantom of the Paradise first. We'll go in release order. And I know the least about that one, but that one is probably the easiest to find because it actually had a theatrical run and a DVD release and Blu-ray and all that.
Well, Brian De Palma has a little weight to bear behind that, I'm sure.
I agree.
Oh, absolutely. So before we get into everything, what'd you guys think?
Derek?
Uh-oh.
I really liked the music of this, I will say.
Yeah.
Paul Williams slaps, baby.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was really well done, actually. I kind of expected to totally hate this. I don't like rock operas on the whole. I hate
Damn it.
I love music in the background. I really hate when it's like moves the story along.
Yeah.
Derek, you hate musicals?
I really do.
I did not know that about you. That's surprising.
For such
I
a
know.
musical guy, absolutely, that's
That's
surprising.
what I'm saying.
I'm not a fan either.
See,
Nobody gives a shit what you think about Chris.
God damn it.
Neelis is more of a musician even than I am.
No, I agree
Yeah, the
completely.
two least musically inclined really like musicals.
So I'm with Derek. The first kind of doo-wop kind of 50s song I thought was pretty great.
Well, did you see that the corporate band keeps evolving through different music trends?
Yep.
Clearly dubbed, which was hilarious. But
yeah, there's a lot of bad dubbing I noticed this time around because I watched
Really
it on
bad.
Blu-ray for the first time, and I'm like, oh my god.
but then when Paul's character was sitting at the piano just rocking out, I was like, that's pretty fantastic. I was kind of surprised.
Paul Williams is this movie, man. He did all the tunes. He's actually
Dude, the Coke
delivers
bottle
a hell of a
glasses,
performance.
Holy cow.
So good. Or that scene where he's talking to himself. It's fantastic.
I felt like throughout the movie, I was waiting for the pizza guy to show up with a sausage pizza. If that makes
Oh, you
any
thought
sense.
it was? Did you think it was? It kind of looks like a 70s porno. I'll get
I
you
felt
that.
like it was heading in that direction, like when he's in the line with the girls waiting to audition. And
Well, Tony, what do you think the story was?
well, it was Phantom of the Opera, just basically a rock
Kinkier.
opera. Yeah, and definitely. When was this made?
74?
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely felt like a '70s movie.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
it was Faust at the same time.
Yes, there's inspiration from Faust, and because that's his whole. I forget what the term was, but that's that whole show or album he was working on.
Cantata.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
cantata.
it was. I'm an idiot. I ain't no music.
Well, glad you said it.
There were a couple interesting pieces. The ties to Phantom of the Opera. The sleazy music producer, who was like 4'2" for some reason. That was hilarious to me.
Paul Williams is a little guy. Do you guys remember when he had a cameo in Baby Driver? And I'm like, who is the midget thing? Oh my God, that's Paul Williams.
He's 5'2". Yeah, he's short.
The girl. Oh God, I can't remember her name.
Jessica Harper. She's from Shock Treatment.
Yeah,
and she's been in a couple Woody Allen movies, which is how I know her.
She has this sweet little demure kind of act, and then she starts singing, and you're just like, "Damn, what up?"
Yeah, excellent.
Right?
voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So that was pretty impressive. I mean, overall, it wasn't terrible. I will say it probably wasn't my favorite of the three.
Okay.
But from a cinematic standpoint, I felt like it had the most cinematic value.
Oh, absolutely. I'll give
Without
you
a
that.
doubt.
It's definitely the most widely seen and known of the three.
I liked it better than any of the Evil Dead movies.
Well, we can't keep comparing everything to those masterpieces, but that's fine. Y'all are mean. Like you even said, like you were pulling up IMDb scores. I'm like, or no, it was Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, the Evil Dead's got 95, bro. You're in the minority. We're not going to talk about that again. That was a different time. I'm not upset. It's fine.
You started it, Tyler. You said after the Evil Dead episode, you probably hated it.
I know. It was me. I did that. So Tony said it wasn't his favorite of the three. Where does it rank for you, Bailey?
I mean, because it was the most watchable, I thought it was my favorite if I had to pick one. I didn't
This
love
is going to be
any
a fun episode.
I made it through all three, but I wasn't like excited by any of them.
Fair enough. Did you shotgun them? I think Tony did.
For the most part, I watched one last night and two this afternoon.
Took a nap between Get Crazy and Phantom.
I think they're all an hour and a half, if not some of them shorter. So
Yeah, they're
it's not
all
like the most painful thing in the world, even if you don't like them.
I think two were hour and a half and one was an hour 40.
So he was counting, which is the important thing. So you guys, would you say Phantom had the best music of the three?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Paul Williams, man. What a stud.
So tell us a little bit about Paul Williams and who he is for those who may listen to this and not know.
I'm gonna show my age here. I literally mostly know him from Muppet things because he did the music for the Muppet movie, and he cameos in that. And I think he did the music for Muppet Christmas Carol and a couple television specials and things. But other than that, I don't know a lot about Paul Williams. I just know he was pretty big in the 70s.
Derek and Chris, do either of you two as musicians know a little more?
I mean, I got his wiki pulled up. I can read
There
some
you
of
go.
that.
That's like knowing things about him.
He's written a lot of songs that you know, pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
like
He's
Bowie's
written
Fill
songs
Your
for like
Heart, The Carpenters, We've Only Just Begun, and Rainy Days and Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
He did Rainbow Connection from Muppet Movie.
Yep.
Oh shit, he did Evergreen, the love theme from Barbra Streisand's Star is Born.
You say, oh shit, like, oh, I love that
No way.
song.
Well, yeah, I mean, The Star is Born, a really good score.
Oh, which one? It's been
Oh,
remade like
really?
7 times.
I think only 4, but they're all really good and different.
So he's a very accomplished songwriter. I mean, if you look at himself, you look at people like John Hyatt. They've written Julia Michaels. They've written hits for these big name musicians, whether it's from the 70s, 80s, 90s, or even today, right? So Brian De Palma had the opportunity to make this movie. Brought in Paul to write all the music. Ended up the way I read it, and clarify this with me. Had him come in to write the movie and then cast him in the movie.
As far as I know, I think that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't terrible. I mean, whoa. Bye, Derek.
Oh boy.
Where did you go, Bailey?
I guess he didn't like my opinion,
He does that. He'll be back.
or he closed his browser while he was after he got done reading about Paul Williams. So, how's everybody's week been?
We're just waiting for him.
Tyler, you going crazy at your parents yet?
Hey, stop it. I'm surviving. Drawing a lot, so that's fun.
That's cool. I
How
saw a lot
have you
of
been?
How
on my drawings. Yeah, how you been passing the time?
I'm having very, very, very vivid dreams. Derek just texted me, said Zoom crashed. Very vivid dreams. Not necessarily sleeping very well. I did buy a weighted blanket when that came.
I have one. That helps.
So I will try that as soon as Tristan ends up going home, and he's with me tonight.
Hey!
Welcome back, Derek Bailey.
Grazie.
Thanks.
Don't you ever do that again.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
I never want to hear that voice from Chris ever again.
It's my bedroom voice.
I can't stop hearing it.
That's your bedroom voice? Oh, Christine. Oh,
That's my
I like the
Tyler.
Way, I like the way you look in those yoga pants.
That's my Tyler
Oh my
Don't Stop
God.
Pushing voice.
And you have 2 kids. That's frightening. Okay.
Maybe he knows
So,
something we don't.
That's why I have 2 kids.
I'm going to try that with my next girlfriend. I'm going to be like, hey, I got something for you. I'm going to walk out. I'm going to walk back and be like, what up,
I'm
girl?
back for love.
Take off your pants.
Boom!
love
Is
you.
ready.
That hurts.
I'm all in. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, Tyler, next movie. What's going on? What are we talking about?
Let's talk about Get Crazy.
Let's get crazy about Get Crazy.
Yeah. So a guy named Alan Arkush directed a movie called Rock and Roll High School, starring the Ramones. And he was off to a pretty good start. That's the one. And he was off to a pretty good start in his career. And then he made Heartbeat with Bernadette Peters, and he thought he'd never work again.
Well, he thought Heartbeat was going to be the next Star Trek.
No one thought that.
That is
Andy
exactly
Kaufman-
what he. That's exactly what he said in that interview that you shared
Oh
with us.
my
He
God,
said he
how
thought he was making the
embarrassing.
next big science fiction film,
Yikes.
and then when it
Well,
failed,
Andy
he thought it was
Kaufman's in
done.
it, so it could just be a huge prank on all of us. Poor guy. Anyway, so Alan Arkush used to work, I think, in like rock concerts and things, and wanted to write a movie about that. But the best he could do is his company wanted him to make like an airplane style comedy farce out of the idea. So he went ahead and did that. And not unlike Mel Brooks, the producers, they learned they could make more money if this thing tanked with like a tax shelter than if they released it. So they gave it a shitty trailer and barely released it in theaters. And it
Made
bombed.
$30,000 in theaters.
Yeah, so did our next movie, but we'll get to that. There's a theme here. It had a new life on HBO, and it's only been released on VHS because number one, I think the elements are missing or destroyed. And number two, the soundtrack would be expensive to get the licensing for. So I don't think it's ever going to be on DVD or Blu-ray.
What, you mean Malcolm
But-
McDowell won't give away his licensing rights?
No, but he'll talk to his penis. It's great.
Right? He's a thespian.
So last year in January, I went to B-Fest, which is 24 hours straight of bad movies, and this was one of them. And
Dude, I could not survive that.
I would definitely have like thrown up and like just left.
I had a great time.
I believe it.
I can see that.
We'll
I
officially
picked
be
Showgirls.
recasting our podcast.
I picked Showgirls for when I finally slept because I had seen it before and I wasn't going to watch it with a bunch of horny losers.
What
Like
movie?
myself.
Sitting right here.
Showgirls. Nothing worse than nerd boners at 4 a.m. Anyways, I saw it get crazy there, and it might be because I watched it with a crowd and had a little herbal enhancement. I had a really good time with it. And
You
I
had some
found,
tea? You had some tea? Yeah, exactly.
yes, I had
Very,
some Earl
very
Grey.
green
I'm
tea.
Like, this puts me in a good mood, this Earl Grey. Patrick Stewart's got it going on, man. And I really liked it. So I found a bootleg online, and I own that. Haven't watched it since B-Fest. But I did some research into why I'd never heard of this movie before. And I think it's underrated. What did you guys think? Oh, real quick. Bailey, what did you think the story was?
The story was weak as fuck, but I could tell you what happened. So,
Okay.
this dude owns this theater that is quite popular. It's putting on its 15th New Year's Eve show. And this rich guy wants to buy it and knock it down and build 15-level condos.
My dog just puked right over there. Awesome.
He did not care for the film.
And the rich people are trying to sabotage the New Year's Eve show so they can buy the building for nothing. And everyone else is just having a really good time at this crazy
Sounds almost
show.
like another. It sounds almost like a modern era movie that I think we've all seen. Does anyone
that?
remember? Starring Ethan Embry and Liv Tyler. The Empire Records, maybe.
Oh, God.
Go to your
A little
face.
bit.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, Neelis.
I got that feeling watching it. So
And then there's a subplot of a love story between the stage directors. That's the only characters I really like semi got invested in. Otherwise, I mean, I like the music. It's pretty good.
this was
But-
actually my favorite.
Did you
This was my
laugh at
favorite
all?
of the three.
No, I thought it was way too corny.
Okay. Do you like Airplane
Yeah.
and that style of humor? Like Naked Gun?
I gotta really be in the mood.
That's fair.
This was my favorite of the three, but you talk about comparisons to Airplane. I don't see it. I mean, it had some stupid humor in it, but it didn't have, I mean, Shirley, you jest. Don't ever call me Shirley, or, you know, whatever, however it goes. You know,
Well, they
it
didn't have
didn't
as
have
much as a verbal wit. Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, like, there's a shark in the men's room. There's a giant joint walking around.
Yeah,
like
I
it.
mean,
That's- that slowly gets smoked the longer it goes into the movie. Yes.
See,
I
that's-
like-
I think that's great.
I thought it was intriguing that the bombs were all clear plastic balls with flashing lights in them.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a trip. I mean, I guess I did like Electric Willie or Electric Larry.
Electric Larry's awesome,
Yeah.
and that whole anytime he's on screen when that music plays, it's so
Yeah.
cool.
He was probably my favorite. I thought that worked very nice. But yeah, most of the comedic stuff, I was just like, meh.
Who was the
Yeah.
assistant stage manager? The guy with the hat. I liked him and his crush on Malcolm McDowell's
Oh, on the
girlfriend.
Countess.
There was
Oh, and then when when Malcolm's having his little orgy, then he discovers that his wife's cheating on him, and he gets all upset. I'm like, that's great.
Dude, the best part of that, right? So boobs and butts aside, when they were stacked up in the closet and Malcolm crawls out.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty funny. Yeah, and then he drinks the water and starts having a conversation with his cock. That was pretty great too.
Yeah.
And then he makes his cock his stage manager. It's great.
Yeah.
There's a lot you don't know about me.
Yeah.
I liked his song too. Hot Shot, I thought was great.
I mean, so Daniel Stern, first of all, I've never been a big Daniel Stern fan, right? I always
really?
I don't know.
Oh, Fred Savage hates the Wonder Years.
I kind of hated him in Home Alone. I know he did my voiceovers for the Wonder Years.
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I love him in Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
But I actually enjoyed him in this movie. He was kind of the titular character. The girl in this movie I thought was the girl from Blade Runner.
No.
Talking about Gail Edwards.
Yeah,
Sean Young, right?
I thought it was Sean Young, and it wasn't. I was pretty like, she looks a lot like her, younger Sean Young.
His little sister was the chick from Halloween 3, but I doubt any of you have seen that.
Shut up, Miss Leotard in striped pants, or striped leotard and purple pants.
The one that he calls on the phone, and then Malcolm McDowell's creepy posters in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this movie, hands down, was the slow motion stage dives off of the second level.
Oh, yes. I agree.
Like 5 minutes of just people doing random gainers and triple flips and all this shit. And everybody's catching them because that shit never happens.
Right?
So that was that. But I mean, so yes, this was clearly my favorite of the three. I didn't love it. It still felt very... like, I put it and the Evil Dead in the same... like, when we talk about schlock, this is what feels like schlock to me, right?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, if it would have played while I was working, I would have liked it. The fact that I had to sit and watch it for 90 minutes, I was just like...
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as good as when I first saw it, but nothing's ever going to beat that experience. But I liked a lot. The blind funeral. I know it's a cheap gag, but I thought that shit was great.
Here's the point I want to make about this. So we watched these three movies, which are clearly Tyler's choices, and clearly they're not... I don't know. I don't want to call them like art films or major studio films, but clearly they're a little kind of off the beaten path. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want to say they're terrible movies, because everyone has different tastes in movies, right? Would I watch them again? I would watch all three of these before I would watch any of the Evil Dead movies ever again.
It always comes back to that with you. Man,
well, because that's my ground floor for schlock right there, right? But I think, Phantom had its redeeming qualities with the music, right? I mean, there was great music there, written by a well-known songwriter. And then in Get Crazy, you have kind of the early career of Daniel Stern and
Ed Begley
Gil,
Jr.
whatever. Ed Bagley Jr., right? And
Lou Reed,
you had
Lou
Reed. Yeah, right. Lou Reed was in 2 of the 3 movies, by the way, which I thought was kind of interesting. So they're not terrible movies, and they're not movies that someone is going to be like, the fuck am I watching? Because you'll recognize people in both kind of genres and directions. But, this is why we call it Rockhorn Tribunal, because it's not our typical show, but at the same time, it was a fun watch for all 3 of them. I can't wait to talk about the third, actually.
Well, thank you. And again, I don't intentionally try to throw, like, schlocky or...
Oh,
really?
He quit. He quit the show.
I think Tyler's house just blew up.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on.
Oh my God, I was on mute and I went through a whole thing. Can you hear me now?
Your porn torrents took down your feed.
It happens, but not this time. I don't, like I was saying, I don't intentionally try to pick like schlock or niche movies just to be off the beaten path. Like, I wanted to pick 3 films that I like that are kind of out there and trying different things that I think need more love. And yeah, I'm not going to pretend like they're all perfect movies. Like, they have flaws, but I mean, there's stuff I've never seen before, certainly. That, I mean, even if you look at Rock and Rule, that definitely influenced at least Goof Troop or a Goofy movie.
It felt to me like it actually kind of influenced Labyrinth as well.
A little bit, yeah. No, I definitely get that vibe. Well, Tony, real quick before we transition to our next film, did you laugh at Get Crazy at all, or were you kind of in a mood?
Oh no, I mean, I definitely laughed at some pieces of it. I mean, but I'm older. You know, I mean, I'm 43 years old,
sure.
So that's early generation for me. You know, it had its moments. There, surprisingly, like I didn't expect as much boobs as there were. There were a lot of boobs. Especially watching it on YouTube. By the way, yes, 2 of the 3 movies that we're discussing today are available on YouTube.
Yes, I posted them to the Facebook page because, and you can't get it anywhere. In the case of Rock and Rule, it's really hard to get a copy, or it's really expensive.
Yeah, if you want some quarantine fun, watch them. You know, I mean, there's definitely we'd love to hear what you guys think about them. But I mean, yeah, it was fun. It wasn't as funny as Airplane for me. You know, I mean, I enjoy Airplane.
I mean, those are like Abrams and Abrahams, whatever those guys are called at their peak. You know. So I'm not gonna pretend it's better than Airplane, but the fact that a movie like this attempted that kind of humor to a degree of success, I think is impressive because you see all the ripoffs like Epic Movie and that, and it's like these can bomb real hard if nobody gives a shit. And I feel like they gave a shit for Get Crazy.
Here's what I love about it. I love that if I were to watch this movie sitting right next to you, I know that you would be dying laughing, and I would be like, "What the fuck is he laughing at?" And that kind of made it a little more enjoyable for me.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, actually, when I showed a buddy of mine who almost certainly won't listen to this, but in case he is, Airplane for the first time, and he was nuts. But he said he got joy out of watching me laugh my ass off at things. So
I've watched movies with you, and there are moments when you were dying laughing, and I'm looking like, what the fuck is he laughing at? But then there's been movies that I've seen with you, like Motherless Brooklyn, where I'm dying laughing, and you're looking at me like, what the fuck is he laughing?
Well, you laugh at awful things. I can't even say that because I laughed at The Blind Funeral and Get Crazy, so I'm a hypocrite.
Tourette's is hilarious. I was scrolling through TikTok this morning, and I felt like there was a theme. There's like 4 famous TikTokers who they do cooking videos with their Tourette's twitches. So they're like trying to crack eggs and like, fuck shit, and they throw the egg across. It's the greatest thing ever. And I feel I'm crying while I'm thinking about it, laughing. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Tourette's is certainly funny. And I love that they kind of make fun of themselves through the whole process. But I digress.
Okay, so on to our third movie, which also came out in '83 and has Lou Reed in it. Rock and Rule is I
want to make a statement here. I want to make a statement. I have said numerous times on this podcast that I am not a huge fan of animation, right?
Sure.
When I say that, I mean serialized animated series. I like a good animated movie, if it's a good animated movie. But a serialized 30 minutes every week animated series, I have a difficult time getting into it. It doesn't have anything to do with the art. It doesn't have anything to do with the humor. I just, as much as I want to pretend that I'm a kid at heart, I cannot sit and watch what I feel is a kid's television show. South Park is the closest I've ever gotten to really enjoying any form of animation. I didn't know this movie was animated. And as soon as I started watching it, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, you know I was going to sneak one in there. I want you to appreciate
out
it,
there.
damn it.
Okay, that's it. That's all I had to say.
Okay. So Nelvana is a Canadian animation studio that does a lot of like children's shows and stuff like that I grew up with. Like I know they did Care Bears and they did like Little Bear and stuff like that. This is their first feature film, and they didn't want to go like full heavy metal as an adult animated film, but they wanted to kind of do their spin on it. So they went into production on Rock and Roll.
I didn't think about heavy metal. I didn't think about heavy metal when we were talking about this. I get it now.
Well, heavy metal's more realistic and graphic. But yeah, so short version of this, and I also posted this on the Facebook page. MGM kind of bought the distribution rights, watched the movie, made edits, watched it again, didn't like it, so they just tanked it in the marketing and put it in as few theaters as they were legally required to, and it bombed hard. And like Get Crazy, it has a cult following because it was on VHS and had a ton of showings on like HBO. And now, Unearthed Films has released the uncut version on DVD in 2005 and Blu-ray in 2010, I think. But they're really hard to find, and if you can't find them, they're expensive as hell. But I saw this back in college because my roommate was a big animation fan, so we would have obscure animated movie nights. And I'm like, why haven't I heard of this? And now you know. So, Tony, what do you think the story was?
I feel like there's Tony.
No, Tony's here. Tony's just had to pick up his dog's puke. So, what do I think the story was?
This one's probably got the most complicated quote-unquote plot out of all three because it's weird and confusing.
I don't know.
I can give it a shot.
Okay, Bailey, what you got?
So basically, multi-platinum, award-winning record producer.
He's an artist.
Kind of similar to Paul Williams, right? Though, has risen to musical fame and power through domination. Finds some magical device or formula by which he can essentially rule the world by bringing a demon in from another dimension if he can create the proper code.
Through a voice that he's been looking for.
Right. Which everyone else thinks is a talent search.
Yes. And then he finds this Deborah Harry sounding dog looking chick. And then her band tries to save her or whatever. And they were writing the script as they were going along in production, and you can definitely tell because I think the storytelling's the weakest part because you could easily have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it meanders a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I have no idea why they felt the need for the mutated animal setup. Like when they mostly look like humans and act like humans. That was
I agree with
completely
that.
unnecessary.
Doesn't really add anything other than I guess animals are more fun to draw.
Sure.
And you could set it in a weird punk like post-apocalyptic world. Other than that, I'm with you. No reason to do that.
There was a Jabba the Hutt Princess Leia kind of moment that weirded me out just a little bit.
I actually don't know what you're talking about because it's been a couple days since I watched it.
There was just a sequence where Debbie Harry's character was. It was definitely a shadow sequence. Like you could just see their outline.
Oh, some animator got pervy. I got ya.
Yeah.
Well, like it's rated PG, but it's like 80s PG, so it has an edge. But like it's really not that bad except for the club sequence where there's drugs and and things. It's really out of place.
I felt like I was watching an entire movie of the pink elephant sequence from Dumbo meets the Sorcerer's Apprentice. That's what I felt like.
That's a fair comparison. I like trippy animation, and I love 80s music, and I love movies. Right up my alley. Because, like, I didn't watch it for the story, and it's got really kick-ass animation. Like that demon at the end. Holy shit!
See, and this is where we need a little bit of explanation. If you watch the copy that is posted to our Facebook page, it says it is in high definition. It is not in high definition.
Bad.
480.
Well,
if that.
Well, it went
we're
up
talking
to
like
80 when I
60.
posted it, and I didn't really scrub through. So I just
No. But
assumed, and that's
you're
my
okay.
bad.
So the thing is the creator can post high definition content if the image that they put at the beginning of the video is considered high definition. But the print of the film is clearly not high definition. So I felt like I was watching like Watership Down, kind of dirty, grimy meets Labyrinth in animation form kind of weird movie. So it really bothered me throughout. But I thought the character development was kind of okay. Like Debbie Harry's character, I liked that character. Unfortunately, I actually kind of liked Mock Swagger, you know? So, I mean...
No, he's the best character because everyone else is kind of underwritten. I don't care about the band.
He had emotionless...
for a little bit of the movie.
He had emotionless eyes. Every other character you could see...
I love his lips, though. Like, some animator got paid overtime to animate those suckers, I guarantee.
Absolutely.
I mean, clearly a Mick Jagger clone. I mean, we talked a little bit about that, but...
It's Mick Jagger mixed with Bowie, and they originally... Jagger... He said, no way in hell, but they were already, like, partway through animating it, so, like, his name's Mock. Can't say his full name because we'll get sued. But as you pointed out, that's, shit. Who is that from the X-Men cartoon? You pointed it out yesterday. I cannot remember the life of me.
Sabretooth.
Yeah, so Mock's voiced by Sabretooth from the X-Men cartoon, and I had no idea.
I was like, I recognize that voice, I just don't know where it's from. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the whole movie, I'm like, sounds familiar. Maybe it's not Lou Reed, because he just does
fantastic voice, too. Fantastic
absolutely.
voice. Like, great voiceover work right there. I love that guy. But he was Sabretooth in the X. He did a ton of other work, but that's where I recognized him.
Oh, yeah. No, that's where I
And then Tyler's like, I thought you hated animation and you watched the X-Men. That's such a great cartoon. I was like, hey, asshole, I watched some shit.
That show's awesome. I might get Disney. If I ever get Disney Plus, I'm going to watch that right away.
Just come watch it on mine after quarantine, dude.
That could be like 2 years from now.
You live a mile away.
Not right now.
That's your choice.
Anyways, so I love
the music wasn't great. The music wasn't great. Like if you take the music in this movie and you put it next to the music of Get Crazy, it's like, what the fuck is happening here?
I think some of the tracks are really good. I'm not going to pretend they're all great.
So the track that got stopped short in the club was actually what I liked the most. I was so pissed.
Agreed.
I think that's the Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was excellent.
I like the end song. I thought that kicked ass. Debbie Harry's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what's funny is you did a very good job of picking rock themed movies, right? I feel like these movies were really carried by the music themes in them.
Absolutely.
Where if you had done something like Rock of Ages, right, it would have just been a rock musical.
Or School of Rock is just a comedy about rock. Yeah.
Oh, no, you could have done School of Rock, and I would have been good with that.
I love School of Rock. I can quote the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I get what you were going for, and I know I may have been reticent in the beginning, but I mean, it was maybe I've watched too much Netflix, but it was enjoyable. You know, I did watch all 3 in a row. I didn't. And
you weren't miserable like the time we shotgunned the Evil Dead movies, so that's a good sign.
Why do you keep bringing up the Evil Dead, Tyler? Huh? Why do you keep bringing them up?
Because it will always
Derek-
hurt me. That's why.
That was probably the most miserable I think Derek and I have ever been for a 6-hour period of time.
Not me.
And I've had hernia surgery. I
God
haven't
damn
really.
it.
I haven't really, but I can imagine. That's what it feels like. So I mean, I get, again, respect, Tyler. We get it. You love these movies. We appreciate that. That there's a reason you're a part of this podcast, and it's because each of the three of us have different ideas about different movies, and that's okay. So, but yeah. So the cool thing is what we've been doing because of quarantine, because all the movies are out of the theaters coming through on VOD or whatnot, is we've kind of each been picking a theme. Derek had the theme for AI, kind of science fiction. This week, Tyler picked Rockhorn Tribunal. We're trying to convince producer Chris over here to pick our theme for next week. And within about 10 minutes, he responded with, "I have no idea of the theme."
No idea.
So, so hopefully we can get him to pick that theme. But yeah, so I'm ready to kind of call this one because I think Derek has some stuff to do.
Yep.
Tyler, I know this was your call, so let's go with your final thoughts. Tell us what you think. Tell us, should we watch these movies again? Why should our listeners watch the movies?
Okay. Yeah, and then after that, if you guys want to give your quick final thoughts on each three and how you'd rank them in terms of enjoyability.
No, we're not going to do that.
Real cool. We're not going to do that.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Damn it. If you like really kind of campy, out there, obscure movies, and even if you don't, I hope at the very least you can have an experience like Tony where, even though you didn't necessarily think they were all good movies, you had a good time watching them because they're so interesting and out there and different. And I know all three of these movies have their own cult following, but I still don't think they're widely known enough because I know a lot about movies and I had to stumble upon all three. But yeah, if you like, for the most part, really good music, really out there visuals, and viewing experience that's off the beaten path, I highly recommend checking these three out because I love them.
Off the beaten path is definitely a very good way to define these movies. I think for me, I think Get Crazy was probably my favorite of the three, and then Phantom of the
Paradise.
Thank you, Phantom of the Paradise, and then Rock and Rule. And that has nothing to do with the animation piece of it. I think you talked a little bit about how the script was continually being written throughout the process, and it was pretty apparent.
The production problems, and I think it shows, but I think it still turned out something special.
You know what's interesting is I could kind of see Rock and Rule being remade as a live action movie without having to worry about the mutant side of things, and I think it would work. I think
there's potential in the premise. I think if you actually made it like an actual rock opera and wrote original songs to go with it,
like Tommy,
and it was exactly like that, and I agree.
Yeah, so those are my three. Watch the two for free on YouTube, and then if you get a bug, it's on iTunes, and you can watch it in 720p. So, Derek, what are your thoughts?
Upon rethinking, I'm pretty much right with Tony. Actually, there's definitely some higher film quality to Phantom, but Get Crazy is probably the only one I would consider putting on again. And then Rock and Roll, just meandered way too much. I actually really enjoyed the animation, but I was so bored.
What's funny is now that I think about it, something that just stuck out to me, the animation and the character development felt a lot like the Disney version of Robin Hood.
I can see it.
Kind of the style of the characters felt very much like that. So, all right. So, listen, we're going to let Derek get out of here because he's got some work to do. Got to make that Skrilla. So we'll see you later, Derek.
Peace.
Next week, we'll be doing Chris's topic. He will pick one. We will make him. We'll discuss it. We will work together. We will figure this shit out. Stay safe, stay home, keep your hands clean, take care of others, take care of those around you. And then as soon as the movie theaters open back up, go see some movies. We've got stories about AMC theaters potentially closing down, Regal struggling. So, movies are something that allow us to kind of disconnect from society and disconnect from the real world as a whole. That's kind of the whole point of it. So when everything starts getting back to normal, go see some movies. Definitely worth it. The other thing is there's gonna be a lot of streaming services coming out that have great deals. I've been watching some of the trailers for stuff coming for Peacock, which is NBC's new streaming service. And there's some great shows that look like they're coming up with. And they're doing a Punky Brewster remake with Punky and with Freddie Prinze Jr. So I hate to say it, but I'm actually pretty excited for that one. So definitely keep an eye out. The entertainment industry is struggling a little bit. But like a family, a lot of these shows that have the same consistent cast are actually still working to film throughout this so that they can provide new content for all of us. So make sure you go and support them. I think that's really important. I watched a video of someone from the Goldbergs, and they're actually still in production right now. But the reason for that is because they play a family. So the reality is they're quarantining like a family on set. Support the arts, support entertainment, even if it's your local artists. I know that there's the Broadway Fund is supporting Broadway actors that are out of work right now. So I definitely encourage you to work around, do some research, find the right arts charities if you're interested in helping. Also, support us. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, whatever you need to do. Leave us a rating. Let us know what you think. If you don't like us, send us a message on Facebook. Tell us what we can do better. Other than that, thanks for tuning in, guys. We know you have many choices over this quarantine period. So thanks for tuning in to us. Chris, you've become like the great wizard that sits behind the scenes and says nothing, but glad you could make it.
Always.
And we will have these live shows that we've recorded. We will have those up and in your podcast app, so you can listen to them audio only if you'd like as well. So, Tyler, glad you could make it. Hope we can figure out for next week how get your internet to work a little better.
I'm looking into it.
But other than that, thanks for joining us, Chris. Have a good night. Tell Christine we said hello. Tyler, tell your family we said hello. And everyone have a good night.
All right.
See ya.